and check the place out. Now, what is unique about Ibejuleki, and I think that's where to start from. Ibejuleki, the new Lagos, and you need to know why. The Dangote refinery that you pass has the first times 4 of the size of VI inside Dangote refinery. 4 times the size of VI is there. We also have Lekki Free Trade Zone, and some of you saw it when you were coming. There's also the deep sea port. There's also the airport not too far. Are we together now? So this place called Ibejuleki has become the real new Lagos. There's so much opportunities in this place. Investing in this location, you can't go wrong for any reason. 2019, Dangote Refinery will be opened up, and several other industries will be opened up. And there has been a calculation that at the least you're going to be having about 250 people who will need accommodation around this area. 250,000 people. You know, some may decide to live around here, some may be coming from a bit far. Are we together now? But this is one location that is just fantastic, that you have to take serious in terms of the importance of this location. And for me, is that if you really want to be an investor, you should consider Ibejuleki, and should take the concept of Ibejuleki very, very serious, because in the next 2 years from now, it's going to change. Myself and MC Abu were talking about his pastor. He attended, I think, House on the Rock, and he was talking about how where House on the Rock is. The first time they got the place was for 25 million or 10 acres. Now, the one beside them, they left it for 10 years, because that's what you want to do with locations like that. First thing, buy it and leave it for a couple of years. So Pastor Paul bought where House on the Rock is now for 25 million for 10 acres and left it for 10 years. Why did he do that? It was because as at that time, VI was becoming very expensive. They were having their fellowship at Luzon. Some of you know. How many of you know House on the Rock here? Because the way you are looking at me. Okay. So they were having their church services at Luzon Center, and it was a massive, I think, over 10,000 people and all of that. So they needed a location that is quite big. The lands in VI were already going for 200 million per plot. You know, and you need like at least 10 acres. That was the vision they had for House on the Rock. So imagine 200 million times 10, then times 6, because you have 6 plots in what? In 1 acre. Where would that money come from? Right? It was literally impossible. You know, and because he had had an experience from his father, okay, Pastor Paul's father, who bought Isaiah Adesola for £2,000 over 50 years ago. He left it there. Some people came when the place developed and said they would build a house on it. They would take the rent for 10 years and release the house to him. And he agreed. And those who build a house on it, after 10 years, they release it to him. It was the rent from that house they used to sell Pastor Paul Adeparasi and his brother to school abroad. When the father died about 50 years later, that property, the family decided to sell the property 50 years from the day they bought it. Can somebody guess how much came to Pastor Paul himself? About $1 million. And he's not the only child. How many of you remember how much I said they sold it? $2,000, one plot. Adesola. That was when VI was mashed. All water. Nobody wanted VI. Nobody wanted VI. It was all water, water, water everywhere. So nobody was interested in doing anything around VI. Guess where we call the city of Lagos those days? Can somebody guess? Huh? No. In fact, and some of us hold this stuff. Do you know that, I mean, VI started before COVID? Can somebody else guess where was the city of Lagos? Surulere was still more recent. Yaba, Mushin, Ojuelegba, Ebute Meta, those were the real Lagos. Like when you say I'm in Lagos. In fact, the professor that sold the estate we went to yesterday, White House Estate, to us, he's 86 years old. He said, is it years ago, not even, about 40 years ago, They were giving him Surulere 40 years ago. He said, "Oh, my God, Surulere. Why will I go there?" That was, because Surulere was like the new Yaba then. Yaba itself was like the latest, high class kind of place. Then Surulere was like the further, no, it was still empty, just like here. So it's like you're talking about looking at Lekki Phase 1, right, versus this estate, Abraham Adesanya. So it's like, so you will be like, even these two areas are still new. Can I still get Ikoyi? Okay, and that was the story. So because he had had that experience from his own father, and how 2,000 pounds turned to over almost 5 million pounds that came in from that house 50 years later, he knew that if I really want a good church for my people and a good land, I need to go further. That was why he went after Lekki Phase 1, and he got that place for 25 million, 10 acres. Left it for 10 years. 10 years later, can somebody guess the value of that property? Huh? 3 billion naira. What he got for 25 million. They now decided to say, let's extend. He was just sharing that with me now. Guess how much the next place beside it was going for? 1.8 billion. Not of their size, just smaller size. Right? So okay, let's expand. 1.8 billion. Imagine he got it 25 million. What if he had expanded more? Instead of doing 10 acres, he got more. I was sharing yesterday the story of John D. Rockefeller. How many of you have heard about the Rockefeller Center in New York, in Manhattan? Okay, some of you? Okay, good. I was in New York 2 months ago, and I took a tour again of Rockefeller Center. And the tour guide now gave me the history of that place. That years ago, John D. Rockefeller gathered people together like I'm gathering you, and said, I want to build Rockefeller Center, and I want to use this area. Now, Manhattan wasn't a choice area in New York in those days. Who can guess why? Manhattan was very close to the water, so it was marshy. For you to build houses in Manhattan, you need to do the raft that my brother was talking about. You need to do all of that. So Queens was a lot better because Queens was dry, and some other areas in New York. So for this man to come and say he wanted Manhattan, it didn't even make sense. Now, he now went to meet some of the smaller houses around and said he got some property and he wanted to be buying the houses too. Each of them said they would sell it for him for $25,000. Okay, and he was buying. Only 2 houses refused to sell. I still saw those houses. But cut the long story short, years later, Manhattan, that same Rockefeller Center, is the most expensive property in the world. That's where New York, Wall Street is. That's where Radio City Musical is. The most expensive in the entire world, not in some places, the entire world. Everything turned around. Another story I shared also yesterday, because I needed to explain why people lose big time around. It's because of lack of vision. I was in London doing training, was it last year, and I met a woman. She's 70 something, 72 or so. She said she used to be a principal around VI years ago. And then they were coming to them that you should come and buy Admiralty. I don't know if you know where Admiralty is. You pass the well. And then they will bring paper. So you pay as, principal, 500. The day one salary comes, they come like almost like this cooperative thing. So they bring your own stuff and then say, okay, the month has ended. So which one do you want? We are bring 500, bring 200 naira, bring 1,000 naira. That was it. But she said she was telling them, I mean, Lossy UK. I really met some of these abroad people. They have this fancy, I mean, Lossy UK thing. Nigeria. I can do. Guess what? Now, it wasn't Admiralty then, so you need to know why. Because it's easy to want to knock her head now and say, maybe they are swear for her. Then, who knew that anything that place could have developed to? I mean, it was all marshy, bush. It didn't make sense. In fact, this place is better than that place then. So She said to them, I can't leave, I'm even moving, relocating to Nigeria. Her own mouth when she was telling this story. She said, today I regret. Because I was the principal, my own junior teachers are now landlord at Admiralty and are collecting rent in millions. She said, today I'm here in the UK, I've raised my children, they're also based here in UK, I still have to get extra job. Now I'm trying to get property today. Guess where she's now trying to get? Abule Egba. Not even, you know that the front of Abule Egba is even gotten. Inside Abule Egba. The same person that neglected where? Admiralty. I said this, successful people are those who do what their mates are not doing today, so that they can afford what their mates cannot afford tomorrow. Period. And that's the way life is. A lot of times I meet people and they say, somebody is lucky, and I just burst into laughter. There's no such thing. Politically too, they say somebody is lucky. There's no such thing. Okay? There's no such thing. There's somebody is just lucky, he's just lucky, he was lucky, and God just favored him. And you know our so-called religious nature has also worsened things for us. Life is about conscious decisions. Does that make sense at all? It's about what?
Conscious
decisions. You either do it or you don't do it. You either invest or you don't invest. You either choose to do it or you don't choose to do it. Okay? It's up to you. Will you do it or will you not do it? I will tell you categorically that a lot of times when we do some of our real estate deals too, when I get there and the owners of the land take me to the place, sometimes it makes me look like I need to knock this people's head. As guy for the price they are trying to sell it. Are we together now? But understanding that this is not about what today. It's about what?
Tomorrow.
It's about the future. The investment you make today will make you happy tomorrow. Okay, the one you choose to neglect today, life is pay today and play tomorrow, or play today and
pay tomorrow.
Pay tomorrow. The choice is yours. But there's one thing I've known all through my life. Every man or woman always had his own chance. The question is always, did you take advantage of it when it came? Somebody said something to me, said the reason why people do not like work, promotion or favor or opportunity. In fact, the right word is opportunity. It's because it comes in work clothes. Opportunity will never come as an opportunity to you. It comes like another wala. Another problem. Are we together? This doesn't make sense. Another headache. It will never come as an opportunity. So, but many of us are waiting till when it comes like we what? That's why people like Dangote are always insulted when you say they are fortunate. I read some of his stories at some point, and he was saying, I am not permitted to go to bed until 2 a.m. He said there are some days that it's 2 a.m. one factory has spawned, and I have to fly down there. We have to, because that machine, the longer that machine is not working, the more money I'm losing. There are some machines that Dangote has that produce goods worth 500 million every day. So to now say the thing has stopped working, I don't know, you can imagine. So whether it was 2 a.m. they reported it, 3 a.m. wherever it is, you have to fly down and start calculating with your team. How do we solve this thing? It's not as rosy and as easy as we see. Life is a journey in opportunity. The question is, are you taking it or you are not taking it? Are you taking advantage of the opportunities that are coming your way, or you are choosing to what? To ignore them? Does this make sense at all? Are you convincing yourself, I can do this, or you can't do it? I also shared yesterday the story of my own mom. My mother was a civil servant and she wasn't rich in any way. I remember growing up, that's why I invest so much in education, a lot. This year alone, we are sending 1,000 kids to school. This week alone, we have sent, you can clap, bro. You think it's Japelo that's not like this week alone, we have given more scholarship to about 7 people. Every day we're picking people that were paying their tuition fee on Instagram. But most people don't know why that is a passionate project in my heart. It was because growing up, my mom used to take me to her neighbor to borrow money. Each time I hate resuming school because they have to take me there to borrow money. You know, money thing no level. You know, and then they will look at me and my mom up and there's no guarantee that they will even give us the money. That was the frustrating thing. You know, assuming that after the whole thing, maybe the funds will be given to you is a different thing. But many times they will even say they will give you. So for me, and that's why today is a major project for me, sending kids to school and investing in that. But a major part of that for me was my mom couldn't really buy properties. And I remember years ago, she told me she has somewhere in Songwater. And, you know, she did one room and parlor. And I was coming to Lagos to visit. So the first time, I remember I was too angry. Because I just kept saying that. There are properties everywhere. Right? My mom left everywhere. She left, you know, I'm not even, you know, saying she should get Ikeja. I'm not even saying Lekki. Eh? Even if it's Abulegba. Are we together now? Or Agege? But you now go and to do so much, and I'm not even talking, you enter. So that day, even the Okada, after I dropped at the toll gate, then we now start taking Okada. The Okada will get somewhere and say, come down. Then you will now push the Okada. Then you take it again, they say, come down. Then I was just like, what kind of woman is this? Now, pardon me, I didn't understand the cost. Like, the problem was the money. Because she got that place for how much? 8,000 naira. And she even paid in installment years ago. Are we together now? But can you guess what? Today, that whole place is developed. There's even express road, you know, not too far from that center. If she did not get it that way, can I shock you? My mom now died of ovarian cancer a couple of years ago. I was in my final year in school. Okay? No, I remember living with a friend of mine. As soon as we finished burying my mom, the mother of my friend called me and said, my mom said you can't live with us again. Now I wasn't even leaving, I just wanted to get a job in Lagos. And you know, and I told her, I said, once I get a job, I'll be dropping something, you know, I'm not a parasite. You know, I'll be contributing, you know, but obviously my mom is dead. That's the only person that, you know, they knew it, they can want to consider you for. Yeah, right? You know, but she's gone. Yeah, nobody. You know. And I was kicked out. My assurance. What? You know, my assurance was gone. And the only place, guess what, I had to relocate to was that somewhat that I was angry my mom got. Not only me, 4 other siblings, 5 of us. I remember in that same house, there was a day, my older brother's wife was pregnant for 3 days we didn't have food. But at least we had the roof over our head. Nobody knew. Are we together now? Today the story has changed. So ladies and gentlemen, do not joke about the importance of property. Do not joke about it. Okay? The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. The only guarantee that you have of a better tomorrow is to begin to tie something down to you. Is to begin to you have questions. No problem, I'll take your questions. The only guarantee that you have, are we together, of a better tomorrow is to begin to tie something down to you. You know, this estate, all our estates will allow flexible payment plans. You know, gradually you pay for a year or two, you're done. We also are giving 500,000 discount on all our estates, aside even this one. So there are so much opportunity for you to take advantage of now and become a landowner. I know some of you probably think this is too far. When I was marketing real estate for the companies I used to work for, there was none of our estate that was even this close to this. This is even good. And I'm not kidding you. Okay? But can I shock you? My regret, and I shared that yesterday, and they can bear with me. While I was marketing for that company, I wish I was buying. I wish. Because me, my own job was just marketing, collect my commission. But you know the reason why it was difficult? Because even me, the marketer, I remember the first time I was taking one of my clients. If not that, my older brother and the MD started the company. My mind was saying, maybe they are going to use me for ritual field. or something diabolic. I'm not kidding you, because we left the express and for 1 hour we were still going. It was behind Redeem. It was behind Redeem. Good news today now, houses are there, people are using it today now. So you now see my regret. And then the company was even willing to give us as marketers discount. Just give me my commission. You see me, at least I got somebody who was convinced to buy. Give me my money, let me go. But I have that regret that I should have gotten. I was also living in Songwater there. I was still telling my people yesterday. I said I was living after the Bells. When I got to that area, my office was in Ikeja, but my house was in the Bells. And I told my wife, I said, look, life is in phases, men are in sizes. Let's leave our size pattern. Okay, to rent a property in Ikeja, even rent it, was going to cost us between 700,000 plus that time. Plus what's it called, agency and all of that, between 700,000 and 1 million. I said here in the Bells is 250,000. I said I don't want to be praying and fasting over house rent. Let's get here. My house that I'm living in is not an asset. How many of you know that your house is not an asset? The house you live in. Does anybody know? Huh? It's not an asset. It's a liability. It is the house you rent out that is bringing money that is an asset. That's an asset. So I just felt, you know what, 250,000 was okay. Then land there was going for 450,000. Some people got the land 7 years before that time, got it for 40,000 naira. Shouldn't that have given me some sense that this area is fast developing? I don't know whether you understand. Try something that I felt. Why was I worried? It didn't have COV. So how can you say land that doesn't even have COV? You are selling it for, and inside it's not even on the express. 2 years later, Amusu came to power. Some 3 years later, about 4 years later, Amusu became governor, opened up the OCOV concept. Right? Guess what? Property in that same place now is between 3 million and 5 million. What they offered me for 450,000 and 7 million. If I had gotten COV or no COV, by now when Amusu released that policy, I would have gotten my COV. Collapse. Right? So I've also made I'm intentionally sharing this because you need to know why I'm making this decision. Because I've also made some mistakes. Because I went into real estate not as a developer, I went into as a marketer. Are we together now? And when I was marketing, I was following, but my faith was not strong yet. Right? I believe property was good, but I just giving my commission, and I regret that. Look, how many of you have seen MNST when we were coming? Did you see MNST?
Yes.
Okay. That property was gotten about 20 years ago. Each time, in fact, MCIBC also has Otumba Badamosi, the developer of that place. What did you see to build that place? What killer research? I don't know how you get, because as at that time, there was no plan of free trade zone yet. There was no plan of Dangote refinery yet. And that man built all those things. This whole, even that whole place, nobody was intending that whole like this. It was all rubbish. But see what it has today now, by just staying there. I think what he was telling was that God, Sabi. By just staying there, see what has happened. He has become the gateway to the electricity. So the place that all of us were wondering, this man must be mad to come and waste this kind of money in this place. Now we saw that it's wise. When it comes to real estate, it's about foresight. Those who don't have it, the foresight cannot have property. And those who don't have properties can never be rich. It's just the truth. 90% of all the richest people in the world are what? Are property owners. 90%. Because the money you put in the bank is depreciating. What 1 million will buy in 2016 cannot buy that today. It will take maybe 2 million or 3 million. You agree with me? Even cars, some of these cars, how cars are just skyrocket the prices. The car that was Toyota Corolla that used to go for 2.5 million You know, now because it's 2016, now everything's up. So if you left your money in the bank, you'll be thinking, should my money is still there. It's not there. Inflation has hit it. But the money used to buy land, rather than going lower, is going higher. One of the stories, there's a video we put out there and it went viral, was a Range Rover Sport of 50 million naira versus a house or land of 50 million naira. 5 years down the line, Range Rover Sport has reduced to 20 million. Right? Meanwhile, what has happened to the land? It has gone to maybe 100 million or 200 million or 500 million. And young people who are here, I'm begging you by the mercy of God, open your eye to properties now. We are losing the culture of taking property investment serious. Everyone here has a village. Everyone here has a village. Your great-great-grandparents were not born landlords. It was a choice to get properties in those villages. And I'm talking of village. But they had that foresight to say we must have somewhere we can say our children are from. Does this make sense at all now? And they took those sound decisions, and today the story has what? Has changed. So my advice to you guys that are here today, ladies and gentlemen, make the right decision, make a wise decision, and I trust God that you will not regret. Can I hear a louder amen? That years later, you will look back and you say, I thank God that I made this decision, because it has been probably the best decision of my life. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
How many of you have gotten some value today? Are you sure? Have you learned something?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. So we're going to take some questions because we have done part 1. Well, you know, hopefully we'll do part 2 when our team enter that way, I think. Yeah? Is that very cool? Oh, okay, good. So, thank you so much, guys. I'll allow MCRB take up from here. If you have questions, you can ask, and then we'll answer.